Yes, hello, Phil. Looking forward to this match, of course. Yeah, I mean, Xiao Guodong is a vastly improved player to the one he was. Sullivan was not particularly impressive in his first round win. A win is a win, of course, and at the moment he probably will improve on it, but he might need to, and that shot was not a great start. To beat Joe O'Connor, as you rightly say, I think this is potentially a very difficult game to call. Well, I've heard him say a few things, and interesting things. You know, he speaks pretty good English, and he's kind of made the point how it might pan out, and it's best really not to do that. And something has changed in the last couple of seasons. He's a stronger player mentally than ever. He intends to stay there. He's not rushed into shots, and what it can result in is quite long spells of sitting out if you're playing against him. Clearly, the frame of snooker is just a frame of snooker, but you make your mistake and you're made to pay, and that's match snooker for you. Already O'Sullivan made a quite a poor safety shot. He kissed the blue, which he might be able to land on anyway. He's played it really well. I like the way he had the opposite side on. He played it with right hand side. It would be reverse side had it hit the cushion, but
these two have played in the World Grand Prix before. In that match, he made 4 centuries, outscored Xiao 522 points to 45.
and that's well played also. This is a very controlled break. I really enjoyed the way he split the bunch, as I mentioned at the time. Some news from the other table. Sergio Wei and Pan Jin Su. I actually saw the referee setting the balls up. I thought, wow, they've had a quick frame. They've already had a re-rack there.
54. 55.
It's a lovely little shot. I mean, that's so well controlled. I mean, if you needed to be
63.
sort of reassured of what we're saying, that this is a tough match for O'Sullivan, you probably have already worked it out. I don't doubt for 1 second that he'll pot it. Now it's a question, probably, after this red goes in. And what a start to a match that would be.
71.
And it would be worth making, because there's a £10,000 highest break prize. And the very lucrative Saudi Arabia Masters. He was competing in the
79.
World Games at the time, winning gold. In beating Kyron Wilson 5-2 in the first round. He had badly misjudged safety from O'Sullivan.
As generous as some of the events that we've seen in Asia.
95.
Control break. What a start to this match.
$103.
Be a nice break to have made, actually. It could be.
100.
Very nicely recovered.
Yeah, the target 141
19.
put together by Barry Hawkins.
$122.
This is a fellow who's made two 147s this season. One in successfully defending the Wuhan Open.
100.
Well, he's slightly overrun here.
131.
Well, he's played it well.
137. 144 and the
What
frame.
a start from Xiao Guodong. 147s have been prevalent. I think my bad game is a lot worse than it used to be, and my good is not as good. That's the reason I'm not winning as much. I'm probably not a very good player anymore and have to accept that.
And one thing he did do yesterday after his win, he bit the tip off his cue straight away.
One.
Yeah, that's a good shot, isn't it? I think the pink might not go anywhere close to its spot. That's the other thing to say.
Well, I was mentioning before, and he's carrying on here in a similar vein, even though
Well, he's going to get a shot now, so that is the first semblance of a mistake, and it's quite a considerable one, actually.
One.
So, as I say, a different tip to the one he played with yesterday, which he's out there in the under the lights playing in a big match.
9.
So I think we can expect a really good match here, especially if O'Sullivan plays anywhere near.
$17.
That's a nice shot. That's perfectly on the blue. That's what you need. He's got the choice here to play on the loose. Yeah.
yeah, playing safe was no problem, but playing a
Ronnie tried to... What a good shot. What a superb shot, in fact. There's a lot resting on that. Now, even if he doesn't land on the colour, he can play the roll-up. I don't know whether he will, now that he's on the brown.
that qualifies as good, even though it's lucky.
It's absolutely fine. The two reds go into the same pocket. You can land behind them. These are early stages of a match, but they're big moments. They're big moments. Now, the other thing to say about this visit, he will need all of the reds here. So let's see how he goes about this. trusted judgment and dropped this in. And he's done it quite beautifully. And I like the way he played it. He just said, right, OK, I'm going to play this dead weight. Now he's just got to finish the job.
From his chance, O'Sullivan made 30. He was unfortunate to
36.
not
pot this, and it would be handy to get on a colour. And that will be, barring something extraordinary, which was a big surprise, the way that he's rock solid these days. But like I say, O'Sullivan is going to have to really up his game to compete with the... A lot has changed in his game.
He's highly respected amongst his fellow pros.
6.
But now I think the word formidable is not an exaggeration.
Sort of mental approach to playing. Not someone that is a...
65. 71.
In the Players' Championship, even though he's definitely got enough points to qualify for it. So consequently, someone, we don't know who yet, will receive a bonus.
Another outstanding pot. Now we could do with seeing... Well, that wasn't remotely close.
Xiao Guodong, 1.
And the Sullivan fans...
Seven.
He's got a red that goes at the bottom of the bunch. And I think with that angle that he... Play on the loose red for now. I think he always knew that was going in.
17.
O'Sullivan hasn't won a world ranking event since the 2024 World Grand Prix. That's the thing with this game, when things aren't going right, quite often problems are compounded by the fact you don't get the best of run. And
yes, what was evident when he played in Berlin last week, I felt, and he lost to Ali Carter, who he had got a great record against the cue ball during the course of that break. And yes, he was a bit unlucky to going off just then, but actually he didn't land very good on the red to get the bunch open. So usually
well, nowhere near from Xiao Guodong, caught that far too thick. So another chance.
1.
again, it comes down to getting this bunch of reds open. I don't know if there's a possibility of a plant, the two reds to the right corner. If they're not dead on, there's enough room between the two reds to... Well, he has. That's a beautiful shot. That really is. That was not easy, especially to hold for the black.
And sometimes with an inspirational player like O'Sullivan, Neil, all it takes is one shot.
25.
I thought if you could take anything good from his first round win, you know, he put in a shift, I thought, which, you know, this frame is just about over, it seems.
41.
We've got an interesting match on our hands, haven't we?
Yeah, really intriguing for a whole variety of
46.
reasons. O'Sullivan won't be aware of this, no chance, but there's a mini milestone at stake today if he wins this match.
52.
Only John Higgins with 154 has been involved in more.
You can actually make 99 for what it's worth.
65.
The stats people have got that information. He's made 1,313 career centuries. Probably not as many as you'd think. He's a little surprised by that bounce. He might not even... He's a little surprised by that. Goodness me. I think it was a jump shot. Anyway, he's won the frame.
Ronnie.
But no...
And plenty of resilience shown by Chris Wakelin to win the second frame against Elliot Slesser.
Well, the way he played it, I think, to cushion, I don't think he particularly fancied the pot.
Sometimes even the most creative.
Was with Cliff Thorburn, and he describes these as an upside down frame.
Also a semi-finalist in 2020.
They're always intriguing frames, though, these sort of frames, because well, as he left. Well done. That's an interesting battle that O'Sullivan has won there.
Interesting, you know, in the previous frame on that academic yellow, he was really surprised with the liveliness of the bounce. I think it is a bit lively, that cushion, and it helped there. Did so well to get on the blue.
7. $13.
It's done through onto the black.
21.
Huge list of centuries here. I think it's one of these frames you get to about 75. He'd be more than happy to walk into the mid-session at 2-all. He's a master around the black spot, but as you can see, all the reds are scattered around the entirety of the table. Is he not Finished on the black.
29.
Oh my goodness. He'd be very annoyed there. I think he'd have been aware that that red might have come in the way of being on the black, but he still took the shot on. He didn't have a backup shot though, did he? The pink was not available, the blue, he had to go for the yellow. It wasn't rash. He just didn't want to be there. Now Guodong has met with a problem. He's got a long straight red
6.
into the green pocket. Well, he hit it okay,
7.
not one of his finest.
Well coped. The world's number 1 and 2. 7 former world champions departed.
Well, for now, he's happy to take the lower value colours, knowing that just being at the table. So that was something he'll address later on, but he can't go anywhere near to winning the frame until he has got those reds in play. Obviously, the red down the right cushion is also an issue. He might try and take this red off the cushion here. Of course, they always say that you should never move a red off a red, and the reason they say that is for this. Yes, and he missed it by some margin in the end.
Xiao Guodong, 26. 1.
Close with his waistcoat to that black here. The top red obviously goes. And that is a sensational shot. That is fantastic to finish on that red. What a shot. That was brilliant.
He's just played to get on the penultimate red. I think he deserved that little nudge on the brown. Yeah, indisputably the shot of the match so far.
So red, brown
18.
and yellow is one snooker. Crucially, Guodong will be annoyed he's not won it. Just got to make sure this yellow.
A low scoring frame this. And all doubt about the frame now removed.
27.
And we've seen in this frame why Ronnie O'Sullivan remains so dangerous. His positional shot
36.
Now it's back to the feature. Can Xiao Guodong start the second half of the match like he started the first? Excellently.
Yeah, I mean, the mid-session over now. Obviously, O'Sullivan would have felt better about things. 2-0 down and going nowhere, it seemed. Fiendishly long frame. We'll keep you posted on it. But we are looking to enjoy the match we're covering. Ronnie O'Sullivan and...
When Sergio Wei missed that pink from point-blank range, he must have thought his goose was cooked in frame 3. He got another chance
It shows you what difference a day makes, doesn't it? Because Pan Jin-soo was superb against Sean Murphy. He can't bowl a ball over there.
Not that time, though. Right into the heart of the pocket.
He was actually on the same day because he played twice. He was 3-0 down against Mark Selby and beat him. So it was a terrific day for him. Played some fantastic
16.
snooker.
Twenty-three.
Now, we do not see kicks very often.
Xiao Guodong, 30.
The fact that the man at the table uses the old-fashioned chalk suggests that you might be right, but I didn't.
Eight.
So again, frame by frame, yes, but big moments seemingly. You know, decidedly difficult opponent, who I have to say did not play particularly well in that match. Neither did the man himself, Ronnie. But it would be psychologically a big moment, I think, if he could get. But he's competing, which I think
22.
is the key.
Eight.
Yes, so Sullivan by no means in top gear, but you can't fault the attitude.
You know, it was for a period of his career, there was, you know, a time when maybe when he wasn't playing anywhere near his best, he didn't really want to compete. Almost shame that he wasn't playing well. But of course, he's 50 years of age
36.
now, and well, that cannon's worked out. I'm not sure it's quite like that.
Foul.
They'd be annoyed.
Ronnie
It didn't react as he
42,
thought.
Xiao Guodong.
Well, he hit it. It didn't hit much of the red, but he did make contact. Hey, so the table is more exposed now to a clearance from here, now that he's separated the red and the black. All the balls are in one little area of the table, it seems, apart from the bolt colours. And I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. I'll keep you posted on that, but it's an extraordinary business.
Seven.
So we're at crunch time, aren't we?
And one has to say the pressure told. He cued right across that.
40.
Yeah, you called it. We knew it was a big shot. It's probably the last. Green to brown. So, it's not a decider, but it kind of feels like one.
helps Xiao more than O'Sullivan, given that Xiao's a few in front.
Yeah, and I think he's left it, and also he's the black or anything. And he's played it in a sort of a happy-go-lucky way. And is the black going to get involved? Got up quickly on that shot, didn't he? I wasn't sure if he was happy with it, and he's still got another shot to play here, and the pressure.
Well played.
12.
Preferably in, of course. Well, you get little disappointments in any match, really, and O'Sullivan has had one by not winning that last frame. I think you can see his frustration, because at one point it did appear that he was about to.
Over Pang Junzhu with his second century of the match.
Slightly an open table around the blacks, but of course he's lethal. But he is battling. He's fighting for every point.
From the starting position to get there, that was some shot.
Thirteen.
One. Sometimes the balls dictate what you can do. This is one of those frames. Well, open things up and some. Great shot.
21.
All very well playing.
20.
Saw there, which really opened up the balls. That was superb.
27.
And one thing he's always been able to do, O'Sullivan, is turn half a chance into more than that. But even that shot where he develops the two reds into the table, now he'd be disappointed if he doesn't make a frame-winning break.
$49. $57. $63.
A single visit, and highly impressively. It's one thing to make a break when the balls are there, but to do it when they're not, even better. So there'll be no playing on now.
71.
Sullivan chasing the match.
Usually the better of the two. Of course, that doesn't count for anything. We still have a potential 3 frames left, and he's got his mojo to a certain degree, even though that black is missed.
79.
Yes, and these frames have so far gone the same way as O'Sullivan's match yesterday with Joe O'Connor. He trailed 2-0. Trend continues, I don't know, but he does look strong enough to do that. You know, when you think the way that but I think we know enough about him now to also know that
yes, in the previous round, he was 4-1 up on Kyron Wilson, admirably, to win 5-2.
now the red is chasing the cue ball down the table. Could easily leave something over a pocket. Done well. It's a superb safety shot.
Foul and a miss. Xiao Guodong 6.
Neil said it can be made. Well, another one went in. The plant was missed by a country mile.
Trace tries to hit the red at the middle of the table. Well, he's got to hit the underside of it, and he's done that. There's an element of frustration in the way he played that shot, I'm sure. A bad positional shot, and then that.
1.
Well, he'll be annoyed there because I think he senses that he might be able to take the upper hand in this match, but not by missing those. Yeah, good shot. He's actually tried to bring the pink into play. Yeah, I've got a feeling it'll go on the black, but even then it may end up on the blue.
Eight.
I think it was Xiao, though, against O'Sullivan. Pressure's increased because he holds O'Sullivan in such high regard.
12.
But I don't think it's going to be a frame winner. Well, he is on this. He's got to see where the balls end up. Well, it's okay with the lead he's got. He sort of regrouped a little bit in this
26.
break, hasn't he? Because he was looking a bit ragged.
So I was with Neil. I didn't imagine this would be a frame-winning effort, but maybe it will be.
Very
30.
good, once again.
To regain the lead.
37. Forty-four.
Very hard to get here.
51.
Just got to find a way, and he has done.
The balls were far from ideally placed when he came to the table, Neil.
And he's kind of sat out ever since.
Xiao Guodong, 58. End frame.
Well, it would make for a very interesting decider should it go that way, and you know, it would not surprise me if we did go all the way.
One.
Well, he got into the cue ball too much there with that left-handed shot. Played with some force back down for something lower value. And those are the shots he's kind of missing right now. Putting a bit extra into the cue ball. Yes, he
One.
was hoping that he'd covered it. He kind of did, but just playing on one red. So
Four.
having to play on lower value colours. Needs an angle on this blue. This time he hasn't got one, so that's quite significant. It's very difficult.
Xiao Guodong, 21.
Well, he's at the point now, Sullivan, where he can't afford to make any more mistakes because it could be his last. Hit the wrong side of it.
Of course, that tariff was very high on that shot. And the black liberated. With that, liberated even more. What?
If you're trying to send the cue ball round the angles here and potentially in behind the brown. Well, he's misjudged it anyway.
Yeah, another one. Driving him to distraction.
That's the most animated I've seen him today. He was very disappointed with that last shot.
And from here, really,
what a chance to close out this match.
Twelve.
But he's never seemed happy with the equipment he was using. He's beat him in the champion, but that's non-ranking. This would be a significant victory for him.
at 3-3, I thought that O'Sullivan looked marginally the better of the two players, but
win this for Xiao. He's a really tough match player these days.
just coming up to his 37th birthday next week. .144 total clearance in the first frame, 78 in the second.
Xiao Guodong